There's still behaviors. And we live our lives oftentimes like there's a finish line in our life. Finish. I'm letting you know you're not done. You're never done. And this isn't a bad thing. This is a good thing. And the reason it's a good thing is because if you're not done, then you're still living, you're still growing, you're still blessed, you still have the opportunity to do more, to be more, to achieve more, to be more in the lives of others. It's important, people, because we can sit around and we can look at ourselves and we can think to ourselves, hey, you know, like I'm done. Like I don't, there's nothing else I can do. And usually when we see a finish, we don't look at it as the same as completion. We look at a finish and we're like, oh well, I'm done. I'm finished. Versus completion, right? And completion is saying that there was this objective that I needed to reach, and I've reached it now. And so I've completed that task, but I'm not finished. And so this title here is just finish. And finish means keep going. It gets tough. Things may change. There might be difficulties and stuff to do, but keep going. And you keep going because you understand that there is somewhere that you're going to. There's a place you're trying to reach. And that in order to get there, we must finish. Good morning, everyone. Jesus loves you all. Welcome in, one. Jacob, I'm not sure what you said, Jacob, but thank you for stopping in. Arajo, is that hollow? What's the topic here? The topic here is finish, man. The topic is finish. And finish is just another way of saying keep going. It's another way of saying remain strong, stay firm, keep working, right? Completion is different from finish. Completion is I have this task and I'm working it through. Oh, and I've completed that, right? Resilience. There you go. Resilience is a great way to say it. Resilience, because a lot of times we don't finish things because we get distracted or because something else comes up or because it gets to be a challenge and it's like, I don't really want to overcome this challenge, right? And so within the things we do, there are steps that we need to complete. And it's important to understand. Pretty hard, just shared you out. Thank you very much for that. I really appreciate that. There are steps that we need to share. There are things that we need to, I mean, steps we need to complete. And when we need to complete these steps, it needs to bring us to the next part of the journey if we're never done. If we understand that finish is 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 the coming together of all of these parts and to continue to grow. It makes us stronger, robbing us from our momentum. Yes, right? The things that rob us from our momentum are the things that grab onto us versus the things that propel us. I'll give you a perfect example. When you share your dream with someone, when you share what it is that you're trying to do, and this is something big that I went through with my family. And I said, hey, I have this thing I'm working on. And my family's response to me was, don't you know how hard that is? Aren't you trying to be like somebody else? What about doing this? What about like all of the things that pointed out where it was going to be difficult for me, right? And I said, right now, I don't need you to criticize. I'm coming to you to advise. And it doesn't always have to be support. And that's the thing for me is I don't need you to always stand in a corner and rah, rah, rah and pop, you know, kish boom ba for me. I don't need you to do that. But if I come to you with something, I'm like, hey, here's a part of me that I'm exposing to you. I'm sharing this part of me with you. And then you look at it and you're like, okay, interesting. Tell me more, right? That's really great. Have you considered adding this element? Can I ask you some questions about it? I think it would be nice if you did this. What's up, Ghostface? Welcome in. And so the reason that's important is because there's a significant difference between someone who wishes to advise and someone who wishes to criticize. And I'm very open to both. But the thing is, if I'm bringing this dream to you and I'm like, can I share something with you? That's not the start of a question of criticism. That's the start of advice. That's a question for advice. I would like your input. If someone is asking for your input, they're not asking for you to criticize them. They're asking for you to advise them. They're asking for your knowledge in the space. All they want to know is, hey, I don't know much about this. I really don't know much about it. And here's the thing, people's default response when they don't know something about something is to criticize because it's hard for you to come when you come to somebody with a dream, right? You come to somebody with your vision, and then they're like, I don't know anything about this. So I can't advise you. Oh, but I can punch holes in anything. Let me tell you from what you just said to me, it sounds like you can't, do you know? Nobody's looking for that. Like, really? Like, this is the approach. And so, what that does is that starts to eat away at us. And this is about that momentum. And so, we don't finish, but we never truly finish. We just complete and we achieve along the way. I always say work towards mastery. And the reason I say work towards mastery is because if you're working towards mastery, you're guaranteed to see success along the way. That's important because once you see success, once you start to grow, once you understand that what you're doing has a future to it, then you can continue to do so. You can continue to grow. You can continue to succeed. You can continue to work. And then that's finishing. That's like, oh, I need to finish. I could keep going, right? And that finishes, there's an old video game, and I can't remember the name of it. Um, Ghostface said, good morning, night to everybody. Good morning, night to you, Ghostface. Oh, by the way, guys, as you check in, if you want to just drop in where you're checking in from, what time it is, where you are, that'd be great. So we would know whether or not to say good morning or good night. Thank you for reminding me of that. Or is that Ragul Legrande? All about follow through. It is about follow through. It is about that continued effort, that continued push, that continued growth. Because there's this video game that I was just talking about where someone's going to remember it when I say this thing when it says finish him at the end of the video game. I can't think of what the name of the video game is right now. But there's this move where it's like finish him, and this vicious pre-programmed combination comes out, and it just Mortal Kombat. That's what it is. Mortal Kombat. And like it's this death move that definitely finishes the opponent. But when you watch the movie or when you play the game or when you do the things, you do the finishing move. And it's like you finished that battle. You completed that objective. Next level, right? So when we get to completion and we get that finish move from the DMV, Pretty Heart says it is 6:57 a.m. here on the East Coast. Arlo, Although said flawless victory, yes, and it is a Mortal Kombat. The reason that's important, guys, is because you'll use that finishing move, but I believe usually when you do this fight, it's the best out of 3 rounds. So you could pull that finishing move in the first round and then just get whipped in the next 2 rounds and still lose the fight. So when it says finish, it means, okay, fine, you pulled that sweet move. That move was slick, but you still got momentum killers. You still have people seeding doubt. You still have people who are more invested in them being right about how hard it is for you than they are invested in you being successful. And that requires finish. That requires a fight with yourself. It's not really about fighting other people. It's not really about being in a fight with the thing that you're doing. It's about fighting yourself where you have to get up and Arlo, like when that statement, when you get up on those days where it's difficult and you've been grinding and you haven't been moving forward, you need to use that. There, one of the characters have this move where like they throw out a cable and they pull you over, and it's like, get over here. That's how you've got to get to your work some days. That's how you've got to get on your grind some days. Captain Blackbird, welcome, man. Good to see you, boss. That's how you have to get into what you're doing. You have to exert this energy and you have get over here and you pull this move when you can feel this thing getting away from you. You can feel yourself, you're doing this fight and the thing is getting away from you. It's switching angles, it's doing different things. You're rolling up on top of different objectives. It's what's in front of you. It's the you in front of you who doesn't want to get up this morning because I stayed out late. I don't want to get up this morning because, like, do I really have to? Like, I've been grinding. Is it okay for me to take a day off? Like, it's going to be better. It's going to be better. It's going to get better. And so there's this part of you where you got to just look in the mirror, lift your head and be like, get over here. You know, you've got to get yourself where you need to be so you can continue to work towards completion. And trust me, people, I know it's not easy. I know it's not easy, which is why we have to do it. I know it's not going to just be like, oh, wake up and it's done, which is why we have to do it, which is why we have to remain resilient, which is why we have to put in the effort, which is why we have to finish. The finish takes a push. My oldest son is training for a marathon, and in the process of training for a marathon, every run that he does, they always say you have to finish the run. So you're not building up and then getting towards the end and just, oh, I'm just trying to survive. No, you're pushing through. You have to push through and finish. Captain Blackbird said, I'm going to cosplay as Mortal Kombat character for work. you, what's the character from the show? You better not walk in there with a cold blue outfit on. You get yourself a medical clearance. They're gonna give you a few days off. If you're not in the mood, then get in the mood. Sometimes life could be easy as that. Sub-Zero, a Scorpion, yeah, Aura. Hello, that's how Captain Blackbird gonna show up. He's gonna show up in all blue, just cold, standing there. Listen, they're gonna, they're like, look, you know what? This is a you day. You gonna blame me? You gotta, you gotta take the live in. You gotta be like, well, call him. Listen, get over here. Listen, this is, in all seriousness though, like, there is a requirement for us to truly push through to the finish, right? To be able to understand being done and being done isn't the same as finish, right? So like we're never done. And I say this because I've been recently working on this financial program, and I've noticed that so many people have been taught to just, oh, you just need enough money to make it to the end, right? And I'm like, yeah, I got kids. My kids are going to have kids. Had a conversation with someone who said that most people can't trace their family tree back further than two generations, meaning they can go to their grandparents. Very few people can go to their great grandparents. And then after their great grandparents, people are like, man, why are we talking about why are we talking about something that I never knew, people I never knew, right? But the people who can go back two, three, four generations, RKS, welcome in. Good early morning to you, young man. So most people who do go back or can go back, they can go back because there's somebody who left something, right? There's a legacy in place for them to be able to talk about and attach to. We should all be building legacies. We should all be leaving something. So when they talk about leave something for the future generation, there's a specific way to be able to do it, but it takes work to get there. We can't continue to just believe, oh, I just need enough money not to so I don't die broke. Like we've been taught for a long time. You can't take it with you. You can't, but you can leave it behind. And everything that you leave behind is going somewhere. It's either going to the government or it's going to go to your family. And if you leave it to your family in the wrong way, nice chunk of it is still going to go to the government. And so, how do we truly finish? How do we get up and we say, hey, I need to keep pushing through? One, we have to change our mindset on what it means to finish. Finish is what you're doing. You're finishing. That is a action word, right? So that's a verb. So to finish as a verb means to be active through the end, right? So if you're going to finish, you have to be active all the way through the end, all the way through the completion, all the way through it. You need to finish, right? There's this thing, finish the fight, finish strong. You have to finish. And I'm saying this word so much, it's about to start to lose meaning. So I'm gonna, I'm gonna probably say it less. But what this requires, what this is simply saying is that we have the ability to continue to work and grow. And we have to fix our mindset on what it means to make these investments and to do this work and to understand that it's paying into our future. It's paying into the future of our family, into our legacy, and into our loved ones. Captain Blackbird, it is 1:0, no, that's 1:04 in the afternoon. Captain says, I think if I can use your example, sometimes people want it so bad that they sprint in the beginning. That turns them out. Yep, that burns them out fast. And instead of keeping the consistent speed through the entire race, right? And so the burnout, the burnout means that okay, you, here's the thing. There's also this is far enough, right? This is far enough. And what Captain's talking about right now is you get excited about something, you jump out, you start running, and you're like, okay, this is far enough. I'm good, right? There's this, "Oh, well, I'm happy, right? Look, I'm not gonna argue with you. I'm not gonna tell you not to be happy where you are, right? There's more. I don't wanna cool. Also not a problem. I just don't feel that way. I feel like there's more and I want to go for that more, right? We're not all cut the same way. This is why it's important For the people who do want to build a legacy, here's the thing. I have 7 children. I'm not going to say all 7 of my children are going to be driven to build and do things the way that I want to do them. Like, I don't know that. But that doesn't mean that any of my 7 children should be denied the opportunity to be supported by me. Any of my grandchildren, my great grandchildren, my great great grandchildren should be not be denied the opportunity to benefit from the investments that I'm doing now. So what does this mean? I have to finish. And then as I finish, I can teach the principles of finishing to my children. And this is how we build legacies. And this is how we work on anything. Again, I keep explaining as much as I possibly can is that once we learn discipline and we learn how to apply it with repetition, patience, consistency, while building perseverance, it can be applied to anything. Ryan, good morning, bro. How are you doing? That's going to be super important, guys. And it's the type of work that I am doing and I employ us all to do. Captain said, got to get back to work. Have a good one. You too, Captain Blackburn. As always, I appreciate you being in here. Blessings. So, everyone who's watching, anyone who's here, I would like for you to take a moment. If you haven't, drop a thumbs up. I appreciate that. It goes a long way. It doesn't cost you anything at all. If you've seen or heard anything that you like, or if you've read anything you like, even in the chats, please just take a moment, drop a thumbs up and a like. The thing that I'm continuing to extend and ask for people to do and advise for people to do is to understand this is not about making someone else like you. This is not about making you like me. This is about us finding ourselves within our essence and being the best version of that, moving towards the best version of who we are, continuing to grow, continuing to understand that the investment in our today, the investment in our tomorrow, the investment in what we do on a regular basis, the investment into our loved ones is going to still require the same level of discipline. But we have to finish. We have to tell ourselves, we have to teach ourselves that no matter what, we need to get up, we need to finish. Because if we don't get up, if we don't finish, if we don't do the work, then there's only us when we're sitting there like, man, I wish I had. Man, I wish I had. And the biggest thing, the biggest thing that regret does is it sits back until later, right? You can push the things that you miss further and further and further back in your mind. And then when there becomes one thing that you didn't do, regrets like, oh, remember you didn't do this thing either. Oh, you remember that one time you didn't do that thing either. Oh, hey, wait, you remember when you said you were going to do, you didn't do that thing either. That is how regret grows. But the way we kill regret is we start fixing our lives to do things now the way we want them to. And so when regret comes up, it's like, oh, you remember that time you didn't go there? You be like, I'm good. I'm going here now. Oh, you remember that time you didn't go there? I'm good. I'm doing this now. Right? The biggest way to kill regret or to overcome regret or to overcome the any missteps you've made in the past is by making the right step now. Right? Because we can't go back in time and take that trip. We can't go back to that neighborhood. I had this in me for a long time when I was younger, where I felt like I needed to go back to where I came from so that I could show them that I'm better than I was when I was here. Ain't nobody I knew when I was there still there. Don't nobody there care about me. They don't know me. I ain't let the people is like, why are you here? Listen, I went back to an old neighborhood I grew up in North Carolina. This is where I was at with my nana for a little while. And I went back there and I'm like, I'm walking through this. And I'm like, I'm better than this. Like, got my own place. I got my Don't nobody remember me. Don't nobody remember Olu. Ain't nobody there. They were like, "Who are you? Why are you walking through my neighborhood like this?" Why is this important? It's important, guys, because as we continue to grow, as we continue to push forward, we don't want our momentum to be stopped by us. We don't want to take on the distractions of, oh, I'm better than I was before, when we still have work to do on being better than we are now, on continuing to grow and build on who we are now. We have to take that time. We have to put in the effort. We have to understand that our growth and our development is going to be driven by the things that we do now. And that finishing is an action word, it's a verb, it's a process, it's work that we're currently doing. Guys, I want you to understand that I am excited about what we're doing. I'm excited about building the movement. I appreciate everyone being here this morning and stopping in. Never forget that it's all about discipline. Discipline has four pillars. It has repetition. It's going to be followed by patience. It's going to introduce consistency, and it's going to help you build perseverance. The first three things work on a thing. The last one works on you. As always, guys, I'm getting ready to go. I want to connect with my family and start my day. Again, I appreciate you being here. Keep showing up, keep blowing up, keep growing up. Take care, guys. God bless.